Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was yuck, followed by more yuck, followed by rains, followed by thunderstorms. It wasn't the best of weather, and it wasn't the best of days on Wall Street. Wall Street gets approximately the same kind of weather that we get. So it was kind of yucky there too, inside the building as well as outside of the New York Stock Exchange. So what went wrong today? Well, we'll look at the Dow, the chart of the Dow, to try to analyze what, if anything, major is going on. We're going to look at PhaseBio, PHAS, the symbol, had itself a nice day upon a nice day upon a nice day. CVM is another one that's had nothing but nice days, no matter what the weather. Although today could have been nicer. It gave back much of its gain. And we're going to take a look at another winner, Shamrocks. Shamrocks? Chimney? No. Well, we're going to look at it. It had a hell of a day today, up 28%. And we're going to look at Tandem, an old friend, the beast. Had itself a good day, contrary to the rest of the biotechs, 90% of which were in the red, if not more. Also, we're going to look at, I had one other one in mind. I said CVM, yeah. What was the other one? I don't know. We'll discover it together. As always, do your own research, your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Please subscribe to the vlog. Tell your friends about us. Give me a thumbs up. Write comments. I love hearing from you. Okay, welcome to the family if you have a new subscriber. So let's get started. Well, so far, so good. I actually have another browser that I use for my charting. It's called the Microsoft Edge. So I was going to use it for the Hangouts on the air as well. You see, I had it all set up. But when I clicked on Start Hangout on the air, they said, you're trying to use old technology. This browser is too sophisticated. Go and use Google Chrome. It actually told me go and use Internet Explorer. At that point, I'd use Google Chrome. So let's look at the Dow first. Then we'll look at PHAS. The Dow is the key to everything because if the Dow collapses, everything's going to collapse, including my favorite biotechs. But the Dow doesn't appear to be collapsing, does it? We had just 3 down days. And the middle one was not very down at all. None of them were really big down days, including today, 0.75%. Not a big deal. And it's still hovering above the upper end of the channel. In fact, it's above the channel. The channel that it's been in for a couple of months, it's been trading above it. Come back down to test it. If it comes back in, even if it does what it did back in, where was that, 225? Even if it does that and comes down to the lower end of the channel, by the time it does that, maybe it hits it about here. That's 25.6. So what's the big deal? Another 700 points in 3, 4, maybe in another week of trading, 5 days of trading, if that long. So, you know, I don't think we're going to have a big correction here. I think the bottom end of the channel, this trend line, is going to be support, just like it was here, just like it was here, just like it was here. So every time it went down, it was stopped by the bottom end of the channel. I think that'll happen again. I don't see any major reason for weakness. So my guess is either it gets stopped by the 50-day, the trend line, or in the worst case, 25,000 something, 178 or 24,879. So these are the worst case. The worst case, we're looking at like 1,200 point correction, something like that. I don't think that'll happen, but it could. You know, you can correct 1,200 points at any time for any reason, because it's really not, it's really kind of insignificant in the long scheme of things. Let's hope we're not getting that now, but I'm pretty convinced we're not. I think this is a beautiful upward channel. I think the Dow will stay in that upward channel for a long time, maybe 3-4 months, or trade above it actually, even better. Let's look at PHAS. I have a few more. I want to look at Tandem and CVM. At least, maybe Geron. So we're going to stay, you know, this is not, I'm not done with just these three. So we're looking at PHAS. I can't remember what they do, but I do remember that they went up due to, due to what? It's really bad. I'm blanking as to why they went up. I read about it. In any event, I think it, what was it again? Was it an upgrade from, they were going to be in the Needham conference and one of the analysts upgraded? No, had to be more than that. What was it? Oh, breakthrough designation, that's what it was. It received breakthrough designation by the FDA for whatever it's working on. I think it's one of these common things. Is it rheumatoid arthritis, maybe? Maybe. In any event, doesn't really matter. I'm looking at the charts and I pay limited attention at this point. I don't have the time to the fundamentals, to the products, unless it's a stock I take a real interest in. This one I saw for the first time the other day, charting it now, has a sharp ascending trend line, had a gap up today, gave back most of its gain, just like I told you it would. And yet, in yesterday's video, I predicted 1450 would be like the open. Well, it got to 1450, but not at the open. It closed at 1461. It did trade down to 1450. I thought if you're interested in going long, 1450 might be an entry point where you could stop loss at 1250 and target 1750, something like that. So yeah, I mean, the odds become in your favor. If you're going in at 1450, you're looking for a $3 gain to 1750, while your stop loss is at 1250. That's only a $2 loss. So that's 3-2 shot. You're getting odds. And I think you have an excellent chance of winning this particular trade, maybe. The chart is just very strong. So it might pull back. It could pull back to this gap, to fill the gap. I mean, it's possible. It could, especially if the Dow continues weak. Let's look at Shamrocks. This is the exciting one for the day, up 28%. PHAS, I see this down in after hours. I don't know if it's meaningful or not. Usually not, but sometimes it is. Let's look at Shamrocks. Up 28% on the day, and this is an antiviral, I believe an HIV drug that they're working on. I really did wonderful by switching to Edge browser. Remind me not to try that again. Okay, so This is one hell of a green candle, isn't it, compared to all the other candles? So when you're in a downward declining, strongly declining market, such as Shamrocks, and you start to see a little bit signs of life trading above the trend line, and suddenly you get this big green candle, I think you could say bye-bye to the bear market. There's going to be a bull market going forward in Shamrocks. That's how Dr. J views this gigantic candle on gigantic volume. Look at this volume. You haven't seen volume like that. I don't know how far back you have to go with this stock before you get volume like that. So this is a tremendous day it had for itself. I'm looking for a pullback to the $2.50 area to buy this stock. I will be a buyer at 2.5, and I do believe it will get there, especially if we have another weakish day tomorrow. Dr. J says, I want some. I don't care what it does. I don't care if it bakes pies. I don't care if it makes applesauce. Dr. J wants some of this stock. I believe they had management change as well, mainly management change that it went up on. The CEO and CFO from the old Endosite. I think Endosite was bought out by somebody, if I remember correctly. So they were at the helm probably during the buyout. So maybe the street views this as a buyout candidate down the road. Maybe that's the purpose for choosing this dynamic duo of CEO and CFO. Dr. J likes it. Dr. J will be a buyer. Let's take a look at another one. Let's see, how do I change it in here? Right in here, quote lookup. So I'm going to put in CVM. CVM. I have to admit I sold some because didn't I tell you when it was at $4 or $5, when it gets to $7, I'm going to sell a few shares? I probably didn't sell enough, but I did sell 10%. And that's not bad. That's like covering 25% of my bet because I had 150% gain. So the candle today went above my $7 target, well above it. It actually hit 750. I got out around 7-ish, and it closed at 627. But I only got out of it, 10% of my position. What do I mean, this is an ugly candle, even though it's green and it's up for the day, it's an ugly candle any which way you look at it. When you see a candle that's mostly upper wick with a small body at the bottom, it's not so good, or however they say that in German. Nicht so gut. It's not so good. In fact, it's bad. So, so what do we do about it? Do we sell? Do we hold? We hold, because even though you see a horrible candle, even though it may give back a little bit more, it may retest this level here at 565. What do? Dr. J will buy more. I don't know what you're going to do, but Dr. J will buy more on a pullback to the 565 level. What I'm afraid may happen is that we may get dilution right around here. That'll force us down to that 565 level, in which case we'll probably go down as low as 5. So barring dilution, I don't think we go down too much more. Maybe we hit this level right here, but probably, maybe. There's a chance. Basically what I'm saying is buy the dip And it's okay to sell the rip, keeping a core position. That's how I see CVM going forward from these levels. I, for one, would like to sell my next batch at 11 prior to the data being read. That's my goal. Let's see if it happens. What else did I want to look at? I want to look at Tandem. The beast is starting to roar again. On a day when there was hardly any green in my portfolio, this came up with a big green candle. I love it. Gotta love it. In fact, it's an engulfing candle, a strong candle. Well, it's not an engulfing because it engulfs only the body. It doesn't engulf the bottom wick. But it's a strong green candle nonetheless on a down day. What about volume? Average volume. Still, you gotta like it. It's starting to get an uptrend, a clear uptrend here. I didn't draw it in. Well, maybe I did, but it got erased. Who knows? I think I remember drawing it. But we'll redraw it. There we go. Simple enough. Okay, so there we have it. We have a nice new trend line that it's following, even though it came down from the 72, 73 area. I think we will come right back up, and I'm looking to sell my swing position at 70-ish and keep the rest. So I think that's the logical thing to do. That's why I'm doing it. I don't think I want to get rid of it in entirety unless the market really turns bad, because this looks to me like it still has potential to be a beast and head to that $100 level that I was talking about on Tandem, much earlier levels, when it was in the 40s. I said, this has got beastly-like behavior. It's going to take us all the way to 100. So 75 is the resistance. It might take a while, but I think we take that out. Once we take that out, up and away to 100. That's what I say. That's what Dr. J says. I think last I looked, I am Dr. J. So I don't know why I'm talking about me in the third person. I'm going to become a little schizoid at this rate. So I could go on. Let me go on to one more. Geron also gave back a lot, similar to CVM. All right, let's take a look at Geron. It was very green. It finished a little bit red, but it had been having a hell of a day based on I think this was an analyst upgrade based on its participation in the Needham conference. The CEO is scheduled to talk tonight. I don't know the result of that. I don't see any after-hour action. So if I'm curious enough, I'll look it up after the blog. If not, someone write a comment. Let me know what's happening as a result of the CEO speaking. Update me a little bit on Geron. I know there's a lot of Geronites that are viewers and give me information about Geron, keeping me informed. I used to be a very, very heavy investor in Geron until I got clipped. Now I still have shares, but not on the scale that I once did. So I'm still interested in the overall health of Geron. I make money when Geron goes up, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if I make as much, as long as I make. That's how I look at things, and doesn't matter the name I'm in, as long as I make money. One of my problems with biotech is I do like the stories too much, and I get married to some of these stocks, just like I am now to ATHX. I have too much ATHX, and it's hard for me to part with any because it's like a psychological thing. In any event, I think Geron showed where it wants to go. It wants to go up, came back down, but it wants to go up to the 240 level. Let me make this picture smaller. Wants to go up from whence it came, 240. So did it take out every other high? I think so. Yeah, I think it did. It took out just about every other high. Let's see what this high was. 207. I think it even took that out today. 209. So all that's left is 240. Dr. J has 240 in mind for Geron. A very nice swing proposition from these levels. 180 to 240 is 33.33% gain. And you could put in a tight stop, I would think. I don't know how tight. Let's draw a straight line. Draw. I want to look at the horizontal lines. I can just see where support, approximately where support is. Well, I think support is probably, well, there's certainly support here, but that might be too low. Let's see what that level is. That's kind of low. What is that, $1.31? Is that what that is? Yeah, that's too low. Probably more like in here. That looks better. Like $1.64. That looks better. Let me just check that. The low, $1.58. It's still low, but you're looking for 240. Your stop loss of $1.58 is probably pretty good. It's 24 pennies versus 60. You're looking at quite a big long shot, actually, if you based on those numbers. But I like the odds. It's got Momo. Yes, Geron is once again looking like a Momo stock. So let me go back and say goodnight to you because I miss you. I want to say a proper adieu. So let me say adieu. Let me say shalom. Let me say sayonara. Let me say adios. Let me say au revoir. Let me say ciao. See ya. Don't forget to subscribe.